Good morning, I'm Keith Hudson. I'm the lay pastor at Ratho Presbyterian Church, which is just north of Woodstock. It's April the 5th, and this is an exciting Sunday for us because this is Palm Sunday. It's a time when we can gather together, and normally the church is being celebrated as a full body at Ratho. We would be giving out real palms, and we would be using them, waving them high during the time of our first hymn, which traditionally is Hosanna, Loud Hosanna. And we would be having Phyllis Wood on the piano, pounding it out for us, because it's kind of a march hymn, and it's an exciting hymn, and it gets you really involved. Now, I sent out some of the words ahead of time, but I'm going to try to put them up on the screen. This is the first time we've done this. I hope it works. And this is to remember the fact that we're celebrating the entrance of Jesus into Jerusalem. So stay with us while we set up the music and the words, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. By the way, in the second verse, you might want to take a scarf or something, or if you want to spend a little bit of time ahead of time and make a palm, you might want to wave that in the air because it's a time of celebration, and it's a time when we want to recognize the importance of Jesus' entry as the Messiah into the city of Jerusalem. Well, we're back again. Not sure how that worked out. I know that the words on the second stanza were a bit different than I was expecting. I hope that you were able to sing along and wave and be excited about it as I was. It's a time of celebration, but at the same time, it's a time of anticipation because we know this is the start of when Jesus is going to go through the Passion Week. And it's a time of turmoil, a time of pain, and yet at the end of it, a time of celebration. I don't know how many parades you've been to over the years, but this particular parade, as a child, when I went to Mission Band and we used to see the poster, a similar poster to what we showed earlier, of Jesus coming through the gates with the people on both sides cheering and waving the branches back and forth. You know, that didn't really strike me as a very majestic type of event. I can remember when I was a young lad of around 8, my aunt used to take me every year down to King Street in Toronto, and it would be on July 1st, and we would watch the Orangemen's Parade. And in the middle of that parade would be King Billy. And King Billy would be dressed up, well, quite honestly, he looked like a pirate, but he always rode a white charger. And I don't know if you can see a picture of him or not. I used to find that was an exciting parade because it had great bands around it. And then there would be hundreds of ladies walking along in these white dresses. In fact, the image that I had was that they should be on their way down to my grandfather's lawn bowling club, because that was the same type of outfit that the ladies down there would wear. But that picture of King Billy was one that captured my imagination. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if Jesus had come into Jerusalem wearing an outfit like that, riding a charger, kind of like a general in front of an army. Now, interesting enough, that's what the people were looking for, a general to bring an army. And yet the people around Jesus were just like them. Many of them peasants, some of them fishermen, others tax collectors, and then a whole group of people that were becoming followers of Jesus, and they were likely the lower class of the society. This was not a group that was going to overthrow the power of Rome, which is what the people wanted. But for that day, they celebrated. And Jesus wasn't dressed up as a general, and he didn't come riding in on a white horse. He came riding in on a mule, a donkey, a colt. He was wearing his usual traveling outfit, which was a linen cloak. And he was obviously too big for the size of the donkey. His legs almost touched the ground. And yet people were there cheering. Now, I can remember that when I was down at the Orangemen's Parade, when King Billy came along, everyone started to cheer. And I started to cheer. Not quite sure why, because I had no idea who King Billy was. Didn't know then, and it wasn't until about grade 12 history that I learned that King Billy was William III. And that this represented a major battle that he had to retain his throne, which was fought in Ireland at the Boyne River. And it was back in around 1624. Date might be quite off there, but it was in the 1600s. And he was successful. And he fought James II, who was trying to regain the crown of England. This was the deciding battle. Now, because of the victory of King Billy, we have a section of Ireland that has always remained Protestant in nature. That's not the story today. The story today does not have battles. It does not overthrow a government. Not in the traditional sense. But it does in the long term. Because Christianity has lasted far longer than the Roman Empire, which at that time people said would continue forever. But what Jesus did was to spend his time with the average person, the person in greatest need. And that person in greatest need wasn't the person that has lots of money. There was likely a need that they had, but they didn't see themselves as being able to follow the general rules that Jesus had laid out. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. They couldn't follow the social justice that Jesus demanded his followers must follow. Now we know that over the coming week, a number of things are going to happen. There's going to be the Last Supper. There's going to be Good Friday. And then on Easter, we have the resurrection and the fulfillment of all the promises of the prophets and of Jesus. Now, my friends, on Thursday, I'm going to do a short video that represents Maundy Thursday. I hope you have a chance to be with me. I'll send an email out and let you know the timing of it. But this is when Jesus indicated that he was the servant, not the master. He was there to serve his people. And we'll go through that ritual. Good Friday. It's likely the darkest day in the world. Good Friday is where Jesus is taken to the cross, dies on the cross, and is taken to his tomb. And then next Sunday, we'll spend time celebrating the fact that Jesus fulfilled the prophecy, that he arose. Now, from today's scriptures, the question I leave with you is, what image do you have of Jesus? How do you see him in your mind? There have been many ways that people have seen him in the past. One of the ways is a series of pictures that have been done of a laughing Christ, and then one of a loving Jesus. Are these your image of Jesus? Many of us had this picture up on our Sunday school walls in the church. It's called Smolman's famous Head of Christ. And it was used in a cover of a magazine in 1924. Is this your image of Christ? Or do you have your own image? Work on that, and we'll see you next week.